다 바세바 델라 카도기 쉐버리오리 하이 바세바 세종불도 미 바세바 카르보 이라기 바세바 추인도 더누기 바세바 다 배치지 나부면로 냐베 바세바 치다베 노도 미치바다우스 나부 이말비다고요 말 가시살 시데베서 가시살 마치베서로 신체 세루구스로 지어리 루츠기 제버 하이 바세바야 대간루야노 미 바세바 카두루야노 전류 바세바 빼무수루야노 고바고루야노 데네 이다다 전류 냐베 바세바 툴만루야노 냐베 바세바 고살주는 루기여베서로 데네 나와샤기요레 루츠기 제버레.
For the powder paint, there's also difference in color. It looks like the powder paints of the human. They're yellow in color, and those who are of God, they're white in color. Like those who are the predator, they are watery in color, and for the hell pardos, that they share dark black in color, and they feel like as if they're walking on their heads down and legs up, they're walking upside down and so on, and they color their body like dark, like log, a burnt log, and also there's difference in the way they walk. The Deva part of being, they seems to walk upward, whereas the humans, they're at the horizontal, just sort of straight, and the hell, they're walking on the head of on the crown of their head, they feel, or the predators, they're walking on their knees, and so on. So there's difference in the way they walk too.
Me baseba sugi pasu tonguyori. Me baseba marasu mege tongu mari. Koransu naza tonguyori. Donu bado asu donu pasu tonguyo. Koransu naza. Rori ru rano susu bado asu pasu tongu amado yamba tongu mari. Lai mege ngoshi dige bado tonghechi. Mege ngoshi di ori adi. So
the Bhaduk beings, like the Bhaduk beings of the human, they can see each other. Those who are the Bhaduk beings of the to be are human, and Bhaduk beings of the predator, they can see amongst themselves. Bhaduk beings of the hell, they can only see amongst themselves.
Lai mi ge ngo she de lai na ye ge so khang ge lai na che zang ge ngo she chi ho de ku la che to ge ngo she de tong ma re go jong ge ngo she de tong re go jong ge ngo she ma ra zo mi ne she ne go la tong go san de dang bu to ha de ne san de dang ngo ji to so na ngo ji la de ne ngo she gong ju yo re ngo she ge ding ge zi to so na ha de go jong ge ngo she ge da na ba do tong ge yo re de tong ge yo ma re.
So there's this quote where it says that with the Vijnana of the eye of the divine Vijnana, or the extrasensory perception of the visual perception of the God, one could see about the being. But that kind of visual perception meant that in the form realm, those beings who are born in the form realm of the as a God, as in a form realm, God the form realm, because of the virtue of their birth there, that they have a kind of ESP, or the visual extrasensory perception. But with that kind of extrasensory perception, they can't see those, see them. But with what kind of then divine extrasensory perception one can see about the being is the acquired extrasensory perception through the meditation. That is through the meditation, there are stages like the preparatory stages of the first stage of the samadhi. After that, one further upgrades to the actual samadhi itself. When one has gained that first stage, mushi, or the actual stage of the first stage samadhi, then one acquires extrasensory perception along with it. And with that kind of extrasensory perception, one can see the part of being. So the kind of extrasensory perception we're talking here is which is acquired through the attainment of the higher samadhis.
아니 진에 니선 지어len도 그래. 진에 많이 봐이나니 샤브등도 시도 그래. 샤브등도 파시 양바도 초지용 그래. 샤브등도 시대를 시고. 제만도 시신도 나차다 로요 말에 주지자 예주 그리고 파예 초지용 그래.
So for the beings who have found the birth, then of course, otherwise those who haven't yet, they after each week they pass away and they take birth back in the bardo.
다 봐도 어디 지원len도 진도도 늦지요 봐. 지세바니 상자도 지워들라. 저실의 지워 공원의 지워 내의 지워 주의 지워 진의 실의 지고래. 강롱지. 다시 한번 좀 마셔내 리그 내지대 하고는 리그다. 저 정은 좀 이제 이미 그렇게 하셔.
So So the Buddha being one who is going to take a birth, now the kene or the birthplace, the where one is about to take a birth, there are four kinds of birth, right? Birth because of warmth, and birth out of transformation, birth from the egg, or birth from the womb. So let's suppose that we are going to take birth through the womb.
So say no so lobe jinsen ge te yune de ba kam ru chun ro no bu cha be dong yune cha pu no bu de sa bu ro na zun ro no bu shin na tu bu sin pa zun ro no bu de ge no yung yo re ga she la khang na le ya zun ro no bu che de chi len ro no bu 야 견자 양자니 한 배자르고 여번르고 어디를 통주 나면 다소 지체네 아니 지내는 주르고 어린.
So there happens loss of the vision or the kind not really vision nangwa get turned down. I translate for feeling, you know, the feeling or the nangwa here that being chased sometimes. So they feel or one sense that one is chased or sometimes being cut in a storm or sometimes being chased by a wild animal and so on. One sense those kind of things and seeks a shelter, sometimes under a cave or sometimes trying to get into a temple and so on. That kind of feel one senses being chased or going into something like that.
Bado me bado chi chode no no melichi, tondo bado chono tondo lichi, nyewa bado chono nyewa lichi gusi arude. Do re jenda medo sunyen do chita, tiba members ke chayore. Ine medo ba mare. Bado be doja chi be ngesong ke bado de choyo ne jole de ngesu ke gyodo che. Ya ho jen ko de chiro che na. 야 민저 다다들 야진로 요래 지드다 도고 된다냐 봐야 레소고 스테와 친구 그래 드레소 요래 대비 지야말 그런 거랑 제야리 그런을 받은 게 뭐도 아까 받은 게 뭐도 샤산베 람성 고조를 전도 제어를 드리 좋나 야 진에 대야 루요래 조를 쟁에 게서 쟁에 요 대장 핑게 요래 다들 고야다 요 말에 디네 내려 가서 배배로 쓰기자 소지 셔야 되래 저런서도 또 신내기도 다 지시 송승에도 지쟁에 제야 여자 메시송나 근데 자신들이 고조를 접어도 대가 기대 소소소의 신내도 송로스 점주 저들도 그 야초 마셔를 전에 몰론의 여시 배야지어도 대 배야요 해야 돼 제겐디 파마시 부부시 들으제서는 아니 수수티 지위는 리기되어요.
So when somebody dies, that at that time, there is some saying that it's irreversible, that once in the Bhagavad state as to be born in lower realms and so on, that's irreversible. That's believed in the state, in the lesser yana, whereas in the accordance, there are greater yanas that one could reverse. For instance, if he could recollect himself and take refuge and so on, there could be changes. And also who are behind him, who are behind, that if they do anything good, positive, dedicated for him, that also helps for such a change in course. That helps. Mostly, of course, if he himself could do that, but also those who are behind, if they do anything virtuous for him, that definitely help because of the connection in terms of the family or relationship and so on. So it does help. Since every one of you know fairly well by now, that because Tibetans, they do it a lot, and now many of you also seems to be interested to request to pray and do the prayers by yourself for the deceased and so on, or requesting a collection of Sangha, a Sangha assembly to pray for somebody who have just passed away and so on. So they definitely help that person if done. So if a disciple passes, then if Lama does the prayer, it helps the disciple because there is a dharmic relationship between. So, and those who share the material in common, those who share their belongings in common, and for them to, if you dedicate, that helps because you share that belongings in together. So because of that common bond, that if you help or dedicate or do anything dharmic, that helps that person. So if there's any of the three relationships, like the common wealth or common family or the dharmic relationship, then because of that kind of relationship, if anything done, that helps. So if he is dead and born as a cow in the next life, then the cause or one of the karma has taken its effect already. That one of the karma he has collected has come to effectuation. So thus he has to carry on the end of the term of the karma. So thus that it looks that he will have to stay and until that karma itself, whichever caused him to be born as cow, has come to the end.
Tisu Koso Yori, Chogaton, Tarisan, Donga Yori. Or the Negonim Shira Yori, that was Gigi Derisha.
So, was through the great secret mantrayana that one could do lots of for the deceased through the funeral things, like even with the piece of bone of the deceased and so on, that one could perform lots of rites for that person deceased, like reference to the
Nason Jua Jews, Nason Ju de la Chedon Son Chendingari, Corrizo, Nason Jua Judin Hagi Choga Mamuyori.
So a text which I double check called Nyesong Zhonggu, Nyesong Zhonggu, the mantra or the tantra for the purification of the lower realms.
Nason Jua Judi Jajuri, Judi Omari. The Lamia, the Naju, Nason Juju Guri, the Judi Najo Juri. Tidamalame Juli Tibetan Yogori.
So this were practice I'm talking about that's in Kriya Tantra. And of course that all the higher ones, they will have more about that. For instance, like Sunje Denga and so on, the 5 groups of 5 other texts and so on, that there are a lot of other kind of texts that through which one could do a lot for the deceased people.
Lamega want to Darison Lalan, Dargiori, Mishason Poajarus, Lamada Denisho Poaja, Misha Denisho Poaja, Tava Denisho Chogato, Jamache, Rolla Jamache, Rubal Jamache, called the Ganana Chogana, Damiramamutungu, Tuzukangalova, she went to that she have a Choga number that in a Yori, the name is Chitani Mazulum, the Rishes Haya, and the Majin, the Yori is that we are summary.
For instance, like the transference of consciousness which is performed, and also like doing lots of rituals requested to the Sangha community to do so, and also we can do the purification named in Tibetan as Zhongwa, that one can do that either on the little piece of the item from that deceased person, and like for instance on the body of the deceased or one of the bone and so on. That it's just information, and I'm just trying to tell you that these things are available, or there are these things which we could do, that we are not going to discuss about them, but just for the information's sake. Now,
Chivalendo Tangazo Melule Pame Pamani Zonga Pugu Zuchi the Chita Pasha, Gongal Chio. They were mid Zuchi Yori, Gonganala Michigan Yori, Treshili Chio Yori, Milchine Yori.
So,
oh yeah.
So now here we will just try to, now since we talked about the death and also about the state and so on, now let's discuss a little bit about the birth, and birth that mostly about a birth from the womb, okay? But otherwise that there are all four kinds of birth as a human, like birth as human from the egg, birth as human through the transformation, birth as human from the heat, and so on. So there happened that Trishit was born from the moist and heat. Like there happened named Pramsing, that one who took a birth amongst the sugar cane, in a group of a sugar cane from Shin, you know.
그 세냐면 보런시 다자가 좀 샤자도 봤어 동안 보런시 미리주래. 그러나 세고야 돼. 개만 잡을리게 도매 제보 mambukuro기 제주래. 보런시 바데 마주도 제주 체조요래. 다 마체지 중요래.
So, like the Buddhist, in a Buddhist family, you know, you might have heard of that. It is called in Tibetan Puram Shingbe Rik, a family or tribe that which came from a clan which nurtured at one time in a sugarcane grove. That if that didn't happen, his lineage of his family would have broken, which come from way before, way.
매 주진이 개바 도매 매 강가래.
Whereas
개바 도무 차디게 매 소만 주지래.
transformation from the birth, the old human born at the first evolution stages, they were all born from the transformation.
공간에 지용해들라 내대 자생의 지 자고 니자스 니주가 비자니 총총의 공간을 지어래. 저디 총총 용어 가보.
So that are born from the egg, they have two, like they have two nete, which means starvey or the senior monk. The term used starvey or the senior monk, and named as Tak and Yeta, Kirti and Upkirti.
그래서 상지면 보고 손주 손이 공을 지어 인서. 그래서 아마 미래 상지만 생각들이 보무지를 자갈. 그 보고지야가 살아 공을 손주 손이 동샤버려.
So those two, they took their birth from a egg laid by a crane, and also there were a lady. She laid 32 eggs, and there were 32 kids who were called Sangjima, 32 sons of Sangjima. Her name was Sangjima.
대라 공을 손주 때니 손이데 보배 양고지가 손주 손이 좋아래.
So when those 32 eggs were hatched, there happened really 32 lovely babies.
근데 다이네 다리산이 가서 배내지 컨트롤된 대랑하 주베 된 인자 대기 지원레베 온도 전에 지원청 내지지 아용다고 그래. 파마야 하체게 리요게.
So we should try our best. That we will get a birth in a womb with the 6 elements present inside us. That is what we should strive, and also plus a parent who does have inherited good potential for tantric practices.
다 늘라 니고레 지와렘바 제발라 파마 편수 차니 예부 제바 주고레 파마 예부 제로 맞이나 보고 용마르와 파마 예부 제바체.
So in order to conceive, now the first parents in union,
마게게레 쩨메바 나사메바 마게게레 쩨 송이네 시는가 인치 세지요레 나사게 쩨로 딜레.
the mother free from the ill disorder of the womb,
다 나이 대산이와 코로스.
and also Gandharva or the birth being seeker being nearby.
지야게 대사 봐도아들이 바세바데 대 요고래. 코요로 맞이나 대저랭 말와 예부제사도 콜레고래.
The Gandharva or the birth being who is to take the rebirth, that he should be around. If he doesn't,
파만 예부대 보고 그 파만 제주게 레사 잡으시고 그래.
and those parents too have the karma to be the parent of that person, candidate.
봐도 코로나 파만 예부 되게 보고 제주게 레여 보시고 그래.
And vice versa for that birth being.
저선체 천여를 말해서
So if you count there about the 5 attributes necessary, right? So 5 conditions necessary.
다들 근데 바도 어디게 파만 녀부 제가 거라 녀부 저 그런 레게 오기베 주머제도 통비요.
So that Bharata being, because of his karma, sees the parent in union.
통배가라 그런 부지케이나 그 말차 팔דם.
If he were to be born as male, he is attached to the mother and has a sense of little aversion or a little hate towards the father.
부모지케이나 팔차 말דם.
If were to be born as female, then attached to the father and a little hate towards mother.
근데 말차 팔דם 베고도 말 되버지야게 kok카 말로리.
So, as being attached to the mother and hate the father, or thus that in a position of union that he faces towards the mother.
부모를 지케이나 팔차바 인자 kok카 팔로니 되버지바 점버다 줘야게 자르부지기요. 뭐래. 고수지지래.
So, she faces the father, since that attached to the father and destined to be born as female.
고바도 어른데 요마르바 요마르데 드리지 나와지 고래 나와 매 고래 레게 온거 드리지 넣은 거리. 드리지 그래서 바바니자 마통어체 통구마리 마통어체 세마니 마도 통구마리 세마마도 마도도 그 되게 떠와서 공주를 붙여네 시고래 시야기 젠데 드리 바세버데 시 레라버와 롱굴류리.
So since he just senses that he's trying to be in a union in such a position whereas that does not become possible for him, so when he gets himself in the position, then all he sees next is the 2 secret organs, so thus that upsets him, and that provocation or that upset then causes his death.
너베제가 가도도 고 파이 지원은 줄도 그래. 시고야래 되게 봐도 그런 파이 지원 통고요 맞다. 방안이 그 소마도 파이 지원도 마 쇼도 그래.
So though he does not see, but he enters through the crown of the head of the father.
지원이 쇼는 파이 틀리다냐데 마이게나 레딩에 틀리가만 집에가라 아니 시와다 남시 틀린 집을 쇼바 되냐면.
And along with the white, along with the semen, then he mix, and the moment that it joins with the egg, then the death and it happens.
신의 바시바 신의 로요 말에 걔네가 요 말봐.
So
다 딘데스 제니 야미 우드 마이 코바나라 미 우드 부이나니 카제블로 디오레.
So since the fourth Bharata being, there is no dead body remaining behind, and he faced back towards mother.
쇼도 들라 보다 보면 요 말와 구탄 리마질레 요 말와 나른나보 미르메보 따르따르보 고고보 정주르 샤드 너무 소주 송아 봐도 주다스요 말이. 되네 야야야야 정주르 내주고 냥차저저저네 되네 갈야갈래야 주다 되는데 고다치다 뭐지로 되네 소디치다 되요 되네 그 조사를 품을 지용 그래 강다리 입에 꼭 보이나니 고데 마게 이해됐다 마게 니나래 보내들 롱가다 포아니가 버루되어래 고데 이해를 카제블로 되어래.
So the head towards the
고 이해를 아마 이해를
so head towards the right side of the mother and face towards the back. So in a lying position, of course that the real identity as a male and female does not come even after about the 35 days or later. And if one to be born as daughter, then head towards the left side of the mother and face towards the front. For most intelligent ladies, that they understand that the new sentient being presence inside the moment it has conception has occurred, because of the certain symptoms she could tell, but we may not be able to tell about whether male or female. Some even sense that what kind of person is that, if that's somebody really remarkable, like highly renowned lama or somebody else that one could tell from the very early stage of the conception. So the reason that the male and female in such a position is that, as told earlier, that male, if one were to be destined to be male, being attached to the mother, faces mother, so thus facing towards the back of the mother. The female being attached to the father, so thus faces towards the front of the mother. So also times there are twins or triplets, or maybe 5 or even 6. So for a triplet, then the eldest, he's on the very top, and middle one, of course, in the middle, and the youngest at the last. And when they take birth, then the first one to come is the youngest. So for a triplet, in the way we determine their age, we say the one who comes first, he's the oldest, right? But in fact, he's the youngest. There's another way of counting, because in the case of conception, the oldest one is on the very top.
Toma Pamani la Shuba go to Marazu Nyale Yago, you can say in Pasibati Haku, Paduima Haku, Padula Paduranka member, Sai Najuche, Najoma Gunginda, Dochang Gunginda, Sajik Be, Kula Chudi Yamarte Gom, Pasiki Gijurche, Chiva Lenin Dune, Pamari Zonajikado da, Till Chiva Lembe go do, da Malacha Paladon set to Chadon Majebaje, Chadon Golotica, da. Pena Dejoga Najubaina, Pamanibu de Hiruga Yulata, Chi Hiruga Dojo Pamoime, Mibashani, and Pagajiu Nima, Tansivali, Shiba Shube Sutama Shune, Samshan Chivalene, Chibutama Rosuki, 2000.
So the way they are really highly realized or competent practitioners they do is that in the bardo, as they contemplate or they wish, they meditate on oneself or sees oneself in the aspect of the deity, or meditate on oneself as deity, checking the family of the suitable parents, and also avoiding any kind of that kind of hatred or attachment, and receiving the suitable parent, the father as Heruka and mother as the Vajravarahi, and enters through the crown aperture of the father, as the wisdom being enters the commitment being, and thus takes the conception, leads or merges into the conception. That's the way the highly competent practitioners do.
다마이 고반의 구라나를 쇼누들라 류지남시요리 이지남시요리.
So the moment one takes the conception or joins the egg and sperm of the parent, at that time there's presence of the Luke Namshi or the cognitive power of the body and mental cognitive power.
류라베 차와도 되는데 차정도 되는데 요야게 류게 리자진양야요리. 세블라 되는 요무도 손에 전배 가리이나메 지 전주로 지요리. 류심니요리. 류게 나시다 심 이지나시니요리.
So mental cognitive power of mental cognition and sensory cognition of the tactile sensory cognition, sensory cognition and mental cognitions are there. That, for instance, one can sense a little bit about the body and the mind. They're a little subtle about the three-person solutions and so on.
되네 소바지기야 류야리지야야 회유주 나사요리. 네 신호요 나사요리.
They further growth as fetus. Then there are also pains and there are fears.
밤에 안에 도치 차부사도 차도요리. 정부사도 캬기요리.
That one parents, depending on what kind of food intake of the mother, that he experiences either warm, feels warm, heat, and if cold, feels the same. When mother is too overfed, mother has overeaten and feels the pressure on him. When mother remains or in diet or is hungry, then he feels like being raised above in a space.
Ser sonsake yuma rubute ame Paul studio, Paul in the longa iju studio, Tinea, Susu Saya, Duce de Tron, Coba de Levio.
So, but there's no like the sensory cognitions, like that of the visual sights or the audio and so on. That and also food too is taken through the umbilical cord, which he has at navel that time, and.
Pugu di jibu damba tagaru tinde yin ame melam na le jenda ku chu cha seven rubu, ladan tinde ku chui jeban rubu, ana susu ine deba cherin ru, mijung cherin ru, dibe samba chung ru, chadang monsu chung ru, be chunang ka ru, zugu yang ru, be zugu le be yangbu sudo deba, ha tinde yagu yungju yori. Pugu doja ine ane amaya kongru tsari ru, dibe samba ngerin ru, doja tinde sanglu koke, 배 삼반줄, 저반줄 지지요. 들을 때는 보고 야니 하면 하고 요래.
So, now for instance, if that child is going to be a wonderful one or the very good one, then mother also senses immense delight. They're very light physically, mentally very pleasant, and have a tremendous sense of the urge for liberation and so on, becoming very religious, feeling light and confidence and so on. Whereas by the virtue of that child inside. Whereas if one is going to be, if that child is somebody who is really negative, then the mother has effect on mother too in her conduct, like she gets more irritable, or there's a lot of changes in her conduct. She gets very exasperated real easily and so on. So that one can tell a lot about that child, the way it has effect on the mother.
다 르데 보고 르야야야야 배용도 너무 선진질롱도 작으래. 롱주기 전에. 근데 선진냐네 제주 접제 토르세제 롱자외 롱아 되는 다르르제네 예라가 롱아 제들이 차고는 시임을 당에 세부 수주면도 다 고야에면도 내가 내로에 배 시작고나니 고응이 죽은도 날다고 그래.
So then the first wind which starts form in that fetus, the first one becomes in Tibetan Dzogchen, that which holds life force, and then equalizing winds and so on, then ascending winds, and then downward moving winds, and so on, and plus then after that comes the sets of the 5 other winds, minor winds, and so on, and which I may not go in detail. If you want to know or study more about that, a text I would recommend is the Gao Nyelju. Gao Nyelju.
Gao se Zhonggao sanje ge gongje chi.
Gao
de la song sanje ge ga re. Ndo na le yo re.
Entry of the womb for the Gao Nyelju. So that is the Gao is the Ananda, that to whom Buddha taught that sutra.
다 마마지 공 샤브 되게 공라 롱 서버 지그래 아메 코바나라 카도도 다베 롱 생게 지요리 롱데 종데 코바나게 보고 뭐 야요 가바 때는 마데 망고 쇼로 샤그래 그저로도 샤브 되는데 거리.
So at the first week at the conception, and there comes a new wind or lung, vayu, that named as Katulta, that which faced downward, literally translated, which faced downward. By the virtue or because of that fetus remains upside down for a week inside the womb.
당은 제용도 나사에 싫어요. 배바 있는 집보다 뭐 있는 내가 요마레미 나 지리 토나면다 요레마도 내니 집에 소리지마도 싫어 먼저 셰 두고 말이. 제 배바랑 가와 있는데 싫어가 나사제 배 신나서 전부요. 요래 강이 있는 만데 다만 실로만 대와다가 미그 소통 암조고 다트 칼레베 로냐 깨져지 여봐 우당지 여봐 강가 뭐 실로 되는 것도 용고요 말이.
So, there are all those that at the time of birth, of course, he goes through a great pain and so on, and lots of pain and anxieties. Or, of course, we can't tell for those who are highly realized beings and so on. But when he is born, the moment he takes born out of the womb, then the visual sights and ability to breathe, and so all those comes subsequently after the birth or when he comes out.
다마치 사선 추고리 다 나제 되네 용종 송고를 다 써고 주변 sha고 되네 gen차 다고 아야 되네 제네 배 연대 줄러고 이장아서 온어디에 당고 종업이 종고고도 되는 거를 주변에 온고고도 와 되는 라발 도시 주고게 온고고도 와 다들 강가로 등고고 온이 집어다는 주변 온 되요 그래서 자야요 so songa shemo to the shego mandu shego yo mare ta chiwa le do tende jire ta chiwa de le mo go so chiwa da chi shi ba do sum bu che ba ji ring ge wa da chi shi ba do sum da na ba thom ba bu ji go ne chiwa chugo chiwa la che chiwa da rabu rabu chi she go ju chiwa insan go go mare ko da rabu ji go
so when after one takes birth, then we wash that child, and then we try to raise him, and we give the right cap and so on. We raise him with education and gradual, right? In same way, when we receive an initiation, as you remember, the first initiation starts with wash initiation, pouring the water on you and clean you up. And then gradually you are given the crown and then water and belt and so on, so which can be very much explained in the accordance with text, which I will not go into detail again just for information here. And also, like the most important thing is that when we do the meditation here up to now, that we don't do it like actual death, but a then resemblance with what we go through, that resemblance in aspect, that we do this practice. So, like the taking the bardo, taking the in the bardo, no, Sambhogakaya bardo, this taking Sambhogakaya as path, okay? In that we don't meditate on the bardo. Please stress. We don't meditate. So we don't meditate on that, but resemblance with it. And also when we are taking the birth at the Nimanakaya on the path, so we do the resemblance in the aspect, but not itself.
Nandaya de do image chuguju unsho ne de jana subawa imoko hongsa ata de gongje ya.
So now here that please now note on your sadhana where it says this very syllable form becomes the bigger and bigger until to that mantra which just recited up to there, and that's where we visualize it.
저 가르치고 생각 공제고 있어. 가지고 공부 쇼다 리시 공부 있어. 가르 공부 있어. 아니 공제고 있어. 가르 공부스. 공제고 있어. 공야 시죠 말. 수요 럽 주스. 럽게 메두스. 오늘 컨디션 주스. 배차지라 좋대 공부 있어. 근데 지지어만 다디 샘는 침부래. 주마베 뉴바도 주주 차그래. 다 공준들이 공토니야.
So
나만 대죠 그렇다.
So I do meet or some just bear testimony saying, I meditate. Oh, Master, I meditate. What do you meditate? Yeah, I just meditate every single day of my life. Then what do you meditate was my question, you know. Oh, I just meditate. Then what do you meditate? I found some book and I'm meditating on it. And that shouldn't be our case. If we really want to meditate, that these are the material which we should meditate. Otherwise, if we just try to meditate something which does not have our origin, then it can become a great disgrace for ourselves. The more so, the worst that it can really be very destructive.
다 방이 되냐 라마 그 마부체 마랑게 도가 방이라 돼 방이디 철 로베 고디 방이 그 랑게 zu글 버쳐 zu고야 방이 그 마부 코랑 그 라젠트 줄 바네 콘다 데바베 콤바치바 가바 레레레 강고로 방이 그 라젠트 줄 바르르 토네 리르 방이 아니 신을 보네 신 방이 철을 보네 철 방이 자불림 방이를 줘 동수주 동치모 방이 나게 타다냐로데 바 너지 추 타지 다베 마다베 시비제 너진지데 바 창만 강걸로 방이 나도 줄네 마보 다 방이 수다 되고 말이 마보 코레베 대동거라 신신지 마보 방이를 주로 송사베바 잡네 야치 타지제
So
나가냐 마시제
the syllable palm at a center of our heart, that by the reception of the Guru, as we had earlier, into that, then and then it starts growing. It starts grow and gets bigger and bigger, and one's entire body becomes the palm. Okay, then by the touch of that palm and further growth in it is sides that turns the whole chunjung into the palm. Then every lake, mountain, everything it touches around the vicinity, everything transforms into the palm, and it grows, keeps on growing and expanding, and turns the entire length of the whole universe into this level of the palm, and red in color, and stays in the nature of the bliss and void, becomes the nature of the bliss and void.
사제 루스라 방이 디베바 나갈바 쳬네 다가 바 연루에 미바제데 멜리레 소 삼바 쳬버리 아니 동바 다가 공샤버리 데이터 니게요 말이 수 누구래 조리 고야게 비제 이자 수 누구래 저지 니소는 조지 팀리도 되니 쳬와다 투고 이자 쳬와다 넘바 투적 쳬와 인디 수 누구래 라리아 타네 린지도 셴도 저에 방이도 주로스 라야 탄수 되니 셴도 저에 방이도 주르지
So that accordance with Satya, that it keeps on expanding and finally it disappears. And in that state of the voidness, we contemplate. But here we try to gather that palm again back, and it contracts and becomes smaller and again assumes this level of the palm in the former size. That the reason is that to mature ourselves are worthy of the practice of for the maturation of to maintain the practice of the Zorim, to mature the practice of Zorim, and also we have to maintain is resemblance with the death, right? Resemblance with the death in the aspect.
Ransin de dong wo salo tonto ma yimba dagala ma tim ransin la tim ransin de dong ngo be tarji gomne de dong ngo gomne de dong de ko jing ngo yilo de dagal tonda nge de jala me ne ji lo she yimba ta ti ngo ne re ti ngo ne de dong ransin ge pang yi de pa chu ta su de ne de jo kang ga su do yu de jo kang ga pang yi na la tim ne sa ma yo ma re dong sang sang re chilo re ra wa khang chin sang ma lo pang yi na la ting sa re sen자위자 소방이 주주진의 소종도 수수고에 대요 말이야. 다 라야 타는 신도 뇌대 신도 저 방이도 주로 제버다. 대리 사초래 팀 팀수 다 미주다고 샤주 심을 주의 나와 샤야메 버지. 네 미주다고 샤주 대화침 뭐 대상 동바침 뭐 동상사 대동경을 왜 대동지 맞이 버지 공고래.
So
사주멜로 팅요디 시르고요 봐서 신앙지 지어 말이 가고 그랬더니 다리 사주멜로 팅이나니 산지 유콜이야 조조요다 오야
So that as I explained to you earlier, that by the virtue of the merger of the Guru inside you into that slippery palm, that you are in the state of the great bliss in the void, right? Wisdom of the bliss in the void, which is the definitive Guru Yoga. And I explained to you that how that is the nature in the nature of all four kayas. So within that state, within the liveliness of that state, then you do this. It expands. Then finally, again, it absorbs back into the cerebral palm. Then when it has absorbed back into the former shape of cerebral palm, as everything has been transformed into that palm or merged into that palm, now there's nothing left behind, right? There's nothing left, even yourself, but the cerebral palm, and try to think that at this point, the earth element dissolving into the water element, and the mirage-like vision sensed, and you also feel the great elation of the bliss and also void, bliss and void that you have to work on.
Oh yeah. 다 방을 리차 요 말이 방게 오다 아주 요 말이와 대매바 인자 방 그런 조지리 그 이제 조지게 오게 제제 이 속이 니부터야 방게 류도 방게 뭘 튕기지 아주 요나 아주야 튕쳐서 얘네 지마자죠 초리 대매바제 방 그런 거 속을 뭐그 제제들 야팀 방게 류도 방게 뭐를 튕배 아니 좀 멜레 튕배 도다면 호샤스 좀 멜레 튕소 삼바체
So, now this palm we are visualizing, it does not have that and at the bottom, because since this is not long palm, that it does not have it. So that the main body of the palm, it merged into the top line of the cerebral palm, and along with it, try to think that water has dissolved into the fire and the smoke-like vision is sensed. Work on your that bliss and empty, the mind which apprehends the empty is being the blissful mind apprehending the emptiness. Two.
Go to the facility. Go to the Atikong and the CEO, the city remote to do record which teacher. Some don't do go go Tabazuruchi. So easy check a two Shabazuruchi. Go the facility.
That so the head of the cerebral palm dissolves into that the saucer or the crescent moon, though it looks like crescent moon, but it is in fact it is more like a ball cut into half. That it is round but cut into half, so it dissolves into that.
Go the facility melon Sachula Tibeta, Vijisha Sarita, Me Sachul, Chumel Tibeta, Tuakato Deva, Ta Melula Tibeta, Me Simbumishtabin Hoashas, Melula Tinsu, somebody.
So when that merger happened, try to think now the fire has dissolved into the wind, and firefly like a sense. You sense like the presence of fireflies.
This one, they don't go, they don't do a cherry, don't buy cherry, Rugo, Zugu, Ganga, Nuruda, Beton Sanre.
So, again, stress that you have to carry the elevation in the height of the bliss, that also you try to think that there's greater bliss than earlier, and also greater bliss, greater vacuity. Since you are getting smaller in size, you feel more space or emptiness.
Thank God that's it. That's it. Tell it really, Kotung. Tridu Gogo, Gogo Madivala, Kotung Tishing Marva. 제가 이주 리리 고동지를 뒤토게 다시 거기 될 다 다시 들려야 돼.
So that round cup or the crescent moon, that crescent, it dissolve or merge into the ball. Though we write a circle, but in fact what it is a ball empty inside. So it dissolves into that circle, which is drawn circle, but which is a ball in fact. It dissolves into the ball.
다야 대동 체르동 대동체 텔rel팀 텔rel팀에 가면 롱데 남실의 팀에 고수수 상에 나와다 마음에 바에 나와다 세신이 중삼하지.
So at that time the wind into the begins to wind into the consciousness and to try to think
그래서 너참에
lung namshi kosa.
어야. 롱 나실의 팀보다 나실이 추서리 베레. 다 롱시 남실이 야 태요도 아니 마음에 바에 나와들이. 제가 나실 통바 좀바나 상고 조용도 쓰게. 저번에 등다였는데 팀에서 좀 리그래.
So when it starts, the wind begins to dissolve into the consciousness, or when the wind dissolved into the consciousness, they are just the same here. Okay, that then you sense like the presence of the light, undisturbed light.
다 틀리거나 난다데 파조 소조 여조 송요다 틀리데 난다 조 담을 팀.
Now that ball or the circle, it dissolves into the first curve of the squiggle or the nanda.
조 담을 팀에 고디 깔람바 샤종 삼바지 나와 깔람바 샤종 삼바지. 자탕 통하다 샤베 먹바지. 산제 탕제지 고도주 토중 삼바지.
So try to think that that moment it begin to dissolve into the first curve of the squiggle, that a whitish sense, apprehension happened, and try to also believe that you acquired the Vajrakaya of the Buddha, Vajra physical kaya of the Buddha.
다조 담을데 니벌 팀.
The first curve merged into the second.
제바 만남바 샤종 삼바지.
The increase, the radish has
이라만 샤베 먹바지.
appeared, and redness, sense the redness.
산제 탐제의 숭도주 등의 토중 삼바지.
Try to convince that I have acquired the Vajra speech of the entire Buddhas.
대동공개의 공개지.
Mustn't forget to maintain the meditation on the bliss and void.
다 조조 니버데 조 소베 쯔들이 야팀.
The second curve absorbs into the final curve or squiggle.
대디 녀토 샤종서 나 톰도 갈로 소삼바지.
That point, feel
산제 탐제지 토도주 토중 삼바지.
you have attained the near attainment mind, the darkness, and try to believe that you have attained the Vajra mind of the entire Buddhas.
대화야 하정의 대화 침보, 동바야 하정의 동바 침보. 샤종 삼바지. 대행원 안에 용성지를 전주 매봐. 배 제매도 제배서로 배 녀토 제매도 랑수 삼바. 제매도 팀수 삼바를 보지.
So at that time, try to think that the bliss is also very strong bliss, very strong bliss, and also in immense vacuity, voidness, immense voidness, and then right up to that you try to think now without memory of the blackness. So now the final curve of the Nanda is also disappears, or the
Chu Tanja Rangi Juba, Tumbanya, Rangi Sim Devachimba, Ruchi Juba, the Nai, Sambajan, Telanga Jesu, Tes Sanje Nanjum, Chuju Kungo, Sambajan, Shona Tanjana Saba Imako, Hangsian, the Kavagungo, they don't go. That they do the thing to do Tiri Da Jeva the Shell and Jeva Rudiore. That they don't go. They don't do the Chungajes, we are the Chugu in Samachewa, Mamba Toya. Doji Nanjum, Koban told you, Chuku, Danko Higan, Chuku, the one in Samaje. That Mage Ododa number 2. Ya Gunju de Lamdu, Lamdu Ima Samaje, Drebu, Lamajezu is a Drebu Lamje, go Chuku Lam like Kiritober. Oh, yeah.
So,
Chuku Lamche, oh, that is Ziji to Gumbo, yeah.
so then after the darkness, then there's certain the emptiness and then with a blissful, the great bliss mind apprehending that emptiness. The emptiness, sense emptiness, and blissful mind apprehending that emptiness. So non-duality or the inseparability of that bliss subject and the empty object, on that one holds the divine pride of being the great resultant Dharmakaya. And Dharmakaya, which is the final state of the Vajrayogini. Okay, the Dharmakaya of the Vajrayogini. On this, the one holds the divine pride.
Oh, yeah. Marazo Gunjo Gabu is a Shabucha Pagunja, the Ban, Sania Malawachane. So he said, Yamashan, Tarideja as a Sagache.
So this is the, and if you're really capable and a competent practitioner or meditator, then just have a good meditation on it for 10 or 15 days on it.
That Chugulam Chetewa did it. That the dance is schedule, the dojo of the dance schedule there or some schedule.
So this is the main Chugu Lamki. Please get this Tibetan down. Chugu as the Dharmakayas, Lamki as the taking path of the Dharmakaya. Okay, taking Dharmakaya's path or taking Dharmakaya into the path. So there's will be more addition which will go over. So there's question and answers, and I got a few questions from students, and first I'll read. Now, first question: during self-generation, which way do the syllables that we visualize in our forehead, throat, hearts, and so forth face? The two of the answer daiji gomikala, the two the jimba the two yigurwa, then gurwa, the good the the shake how lawless.
Rata Tachu Gurvati, Suzukaka, the Tegolo.
So the syllable letters, their face is the whichever direction you are facing. So whichever direction you are facing, the same direction the syllable letter faces. Is it clear? Is it clear? Or which way do the syllables face when we visualize them in the deity during the front generation? The same thing applies with the front generation. That whichever you have the front generation facing, the syllable letter face the same direction.
Yeah.
So now next question. At the end of the blessing of the inner offering, or when the Ahum falls into the skull cup, which syllable falls in the first, and what is each syllable's function? The Nangchu cup, so Ahum di Tevena Mahungar was. Tevena Hundu, the Tambukar Hungaris, and Hun Jis and the Jando Basm Jajora, the Dukai in Jando Basm at the Chuaris. I think those three slave letters, they are going to have the loss of pain and bruises when they fall down.
Jando bus Timares, Cousin Leva bus, Cousin Seven Shavers. Young said, Togano was it to member, alone your member, Tebeno Zenia, Shuni Pandrini, Chanya Wagazuta, Nimachaga Doro Chani. Take it, Kado to John John did this. Karanga Gabud Masai only, Duzumu Urchuni, Duzukabuchila Chivati, Duzirtovaris. Uma on Sumbudma, young said to somebody Uma on Swati, Mamma Bevatis, Jodo Basukon Bevatis.
So, the Tundu Korimuraris.
Korea, dears.
Tambuk. Tambukar.
Holding Helisaburi.
So, that with the cut, with your lights and so on, it just first transforms the nectar, then Katuranga transforms the odor and so on. So now these three slave letters, when they fall, their function is they increase and makes it inexhaustible, right? Now when they fall down, that Oma Ahung, there's order where they fall, that first Hung, then Ah, and then
Masa Duzirishu, Adamasa Duzirishu, Omdmasa Duzirishu, and Be Telebe Kaze Chushan Seju Meke, Drew Jalapu Nedika, Tonda the Pushan, Konyu Dujimeke Chile Joson, so much.
So the first, the Hung falls, then Ah, then Om at last. And because of the fall and mixed blending with the nectar in the content, nectar in the cup, that it makes it inexhaustible, that even if one were to treat the thousands of guests, but it becomes an inexhaustible resource.
Yeah, you should have low to low Yagrada, Jogamon and Deloshmato.
So,
Yeah, low.
So now next is, how can we prevent someone from lying on his back when he dies, especially in the hospital? And the Megana do Mika said Kangelos Tondudos, and the toy the guy at the Kanzakakuris Kangelo Shimo.
Mekon the Mekan yellow Tongus.
No Kangelo Shituor, I said. The Shimo is a Kangelo said. So actually, we prefer to lay on our back, and so that's part of the reason that when we die laying on our back.
Singing the Matubaret Jungumaris, Telishika Lagal Kunjo Lama Tentona, Kukajolo Nelo Jumaris.
But position may not be that important, but to have him to recollect and to be able to think on or have the memory or the think about the three jewel or one's lama, that's more important. Position may not be that important. Now, next question. How can we prevent someone from having his legs bent when dies, to prevent from becoming a...
Tele, Gua. Tele Benko Nalami, Sanlo Yoki Yabu de Shidu, who is saying on a day, told you, oh my, what that did do is. We were saying on a day, and the Miraton Jaro, Gujuton Kedo of China. Kono, we said the prudent, the Ozi, the members who can deliver Halan Pama Sebasuru, Samegile Duzigi, Legin Sagioris.
So, but the worst thing, what we should try to look for is try not to disturb somebody who could be in the state of the clear light at the time of their death. That in such cases, then if we burn, cremate them, or if we disturb or do something, anything like that, or cremate and so on, then that could be worse, even worse than killing parents and so on. So that's for them we should pay more attention. Now, next.
Ali shunga geshi ba dratwa. Shuyo na lojo shewa tade. Mazu moru ko me ko na la membe zo de bebe jires, bebe buchi lojo je so yu membe zo de dra chimu dires.
So I have a story here in Monkut. We have a doctor, a Tibetan boy who was trained, and he worked in the local hospital.
Anzu gishi ji chabi shurang sheng mares, chabi chichi jire de kanu yabu je gishi zu mi gijo yabu je keji mekona shavares.
So one of our gishi who was very diligent in his practices, though he does not show that he had good understanding of teachings, but he was very diligent in his practices, so he was in that hospital.
Lusan Andrew? No. Oh yeah, Hodu Jomka Mazda. Hodu Madu Srekashi. Lusaneria Kore. Shadow Yazo Jame Chidu Jendu Todan Jure.
So when he was just about to die, then he just tried to sit in a cross-legged in a meditative equipoise.
Todan Jure the Ejura Butu Tige, Matabu Ma River.
So that doctor, then he just grabbed him and laid him down in the bed. So when the doctor was away, then again he got up and tried to sit up. Then again the doctor came back and knocked him down. So since the doctor has authority in the hospital, he couldn't win, so he just laid in the lying position, laying on the right. So the moment he passed away, then he insists that the remains should be removed just now. He just pushed everybody so hard that that should be removed out. So then, as they can't, really leave him there, as it was ordered that should be removed immediately. So the attendant, they put him in a stretcher and took out, and close by there's old aged home, and nearby in a corner they kept that body for the night and cremated the following day. So during one of my visits around and with the community, then in one visit, the mother of that doctor, she came to me.
The Mekonala Rojaba Kaichuma Mariwa the Koda Kosma reached that Jesha, the basic Maritic Dibachimutina Yore. She was sure that Sumu Dibachi. Cherito Lomado. Mazula the Koran Dada Korale on Sivir, Lono Majunjo, and he asked Chagusa Amahalis, Juma Ame Lavada. And Juma lady Kume, what I meant, Gishita, what I should have, what I choose to Garijo, Jerusalem, Nation Meadow. Sigisa Shabu Mojagi, the Jaruj, Jevin Jerus, Tenkoyavichi, good machine baron, readine, to the Judu, Janan Devame Honsonale, Tuna Juma, Shingmar, and Janazu Gijuya Vijakenso, Trombe Kodu, 간절로 아도 가물로 아도 다야스 주변에 여마리티 도단 주베다르 안도면도 드마카가 안도 당냐 안도면도 따니 어준도는 랑섬메자마 동로지도 냐로 있어고야로 근데 덕신도는 어디에 지금이 야고요레스.
So, and I told the mother that what her son has done, and then she was really upset, and looks like she was really more surprised and upset too, and seems that she told her son, and then later I found that whenever a monk passes in that hospital, that the doctor seems to tell the monks that please do whatever you have to do, you know. As far as that goes, I know nothing about it. And of course that under such circumstances, that not only it is bad for the one who is behind who does it, but also it's bad for one who is passing. That so we may not be concerned about whether they are on their back or whether on their legs pulled in or while they die in hospital, but be please observant that if there's any sign that somebody you know who is a good practitioner and could be in such a state, then try to get some time or give some time for that person, that so that he does not have to be disturbed right away. So there's no difference between the present Brahmadian path and tantric paths as far as the object emptiness is concerned, but difference is in the subjective state of bliss. If so, some degree of bliss necessary for the mind to apprehend emptiness, or does the apprehension of emptiness create the bliss? 단지 무식 가나데 아니 저저 유동만이 전에 또 버진대보다 나한테고 개발에 맞서서 상한테 이 유진 되었으면 원해 되었으면 돈 개발 시작할 수 없어서 디치되니 돈이 또 별로되어 인지미지 대화 첨부지 심부지고 거레스 아니 야만에 돈이 또 별로 코란 대화 코레엔 대화 영어 중국어 거레스
대 파시는 소노네 돈이 또 별로 내가 그런 게 돈이도 내 돈 열매 가지고 그래 제가 이만에 자도 넣자 대 무슨 내 괜지래 돈이 또 별로 내가 semba 지기네 내 두기 나 돈이 또 별로 내가 신경이 되어 마신 바 가요래 내 내가 내 레지기 되어래 레지님에게 내가 유제제 돈이 유제니도 장체 마임바 내가 침보다 유뉴 초를 추자가지고 뭐 이메 지도 소가지고 그래서.
So kind of bliss we are talking about here is spontaneously generated great bliss, and you mustn't forget that every time I talk about a bliss here, that bliss in the void, and not only that subjective bliss, that which is the spontaneously generated great bliss, and object emptiness, now not like a distance, but the subject and object becoming almost oneness with each other. Non-dual in that sense, inseparable from each other. That is what we meant by inseparability with bliss and void.
오늘 대화들라 돈에도 싫어가 심바도 지가 알았어. 대마이스 싫어가 심바지 돈에도 지마요 뭐네. 아니 대화 친구 시지지소나 콜 대화 가요 말이지. 되게 돈이 되게 심바인자 자시시스타티 시지 조스인데 가가리 거기 되게 심바는 내가 가요 말인데면서 다 조신 살아 있는 조신식이 농장인데 왜 아니 과연이 부죠 과연 세번면에 양에 되면에 세 농도 정내니 돈에도 내가 지금 20코로 유제제 동반이 유제니 영어랑 수급에 미그술에 따라서 파스데 미수제 대바다고 마임바 동 유제 내가 지금 코로 동반이라고 이메다고 왜 모지번 데레세야 예르메와 지금 모지도 송하다 보시도 고고스 어디서 저저 맞에 하게 랑고 소신들이 뭐야.
So here, this is the life force of the tantric path. The life force of the
내가
tantric
이거
path.
믿어 왔잖아.
So- So the spontaneously generated great bliss, right? That comprehending the emptiness, that subjective mind, the comprehending or apprehending the objective emptiness, and not like as the gesture showed that that like in a distance or anything, but becoming oneness with each other, like the water poured into a water. The inseparability of the subject and object, objective emptiness and subjective great spontaneously generated great bliss, and so on. Otherwise, the other kind of ordinary bliss that even through the generation of single point concentration, we did talk about it, right, earlier, that bliss which we gain when we gain this calm abiding, the bliss of the mind and physical bliss of a very subtle, very light and so on, mental bliss of being very active and so on, that kind of bliss, if those are present in other cases. But here kind of bliss we are talking about is the simultaneously generated great bliss, and that as subject and objective emptiness and being inseparable from each other.
다다 주고 란치들라 다제 되고는 왜세게 거래도 다다 먼저 되어 좀 요마르와 이네 뭐지 되어 침부 유제 되어 침부 여제 되어 침부 뇨유라 대참차 노유라 동상사 니줄라 라제 매버 기바데 로지게 숨부터 처음으로 될라 레드지 추고 이사방아 제송아제 제주지는 고그레스 추고도 함실 따바르 신게 쓰기거래.
So the question becomes that right now we don't have that simultaneously generated great bliss, right? But we imagine that we received it or we have it. And with that, then also on this 8th stage, that we said that what we experience is the great bliss, in appearance is the vacuity or the emptiness, but in apprehension, being void of, in confirmation, not just empty, but empty of inherent existence. So all those three attributes present on a single mind, present on a single mind. And on that single mind, we hold the divine pride of being the real resultant Dharmakaya. So those four attributes that the subjective mind, which is the great bliss in experience, an object appearing, that is the emptiness, but in confirmation, being the empty of inherent existence, all three of those present in one mind, on that mind holding the divine pride of being the resultant Dharmakaya. And that is the what we discussed just before.
다?
So,
럭슈. 대가리 시험을 지원 내로도 편식을 그런 거 요나? 단도에 누구도 자도 차와도 사정 지수야.
so the next question is, would Rinpoche please explain a little bit on expand a little bit on the reality source, and when we taste the nectar and take the essence of the reality source, what do we experience? The Rinpoche, because 두지냐 내저 거들에 춘중 가나sos 춘중 세트 가레스.
춘중스데 두성 지레스 두성 춘중 두성 대나세요와
맞아.
담한다도 메자 홈페이지도 춘중다 자자도 제요와
맞아.
더바질라 nenjume ramana chisha no chunyo tuson nizik
Did I need did you So the reality source here, the other way here, reality source
춘중
meant.
세고야가 주제 거래스나 조송되게 전도를 나타로 고송래스. 야.
So the reason we said Chunjung or the reality source, actually what we meant here is just drawing a triangle, right? Also, do you remember that in a lot of cases, Dhammadadu, the mudra we make is the triangle and we show it. It's a symbolic to represent the three parts of the emptiness.
나타로 고송도 동반이래스.
And
나마타베 고동반이 세마메바 멤바메바 송부데 나타 고송제 말이스.
to resemble the three doors of liberation, the three doors of liberations, or the three doors of the, which meant the two.
다 나타로 고송수도 동반이래 가서 상아 그냥 내지도 매 가리 이내 소바셔도 사도마 소바셔도 하 동반이고 동예게 가니 되는 너때때바 매 지리 조리 사제 사이에 참말로 뭐 진고 때때 동반이게 가니 제고도 주베 준리게 되베는데 참말로 동반이게 가니 중국에서 콜라 추 참만 중사에서 추중을 믿다 그랬어.
So the reality source here is to be understood for the emptiness, and thus that everything in Tantra that we have to build on the emptiness and our understanding of the emptiness. So since our realization and everything we have gained is to the understanding of this emptiness, and which is a symbolic, these three doors of liberation in the form of a triangle or three-corner. So thus we call it the source of the reality or the reality source, named as Chunjung in Tibet.
람단 제부 되베 추가가 되네야 좀 동백마의 중국 인자 동반이나 춘중스 그래 나 처음 인자 춘중이 되나 되래 나도 그다 추진 존에스 춘중스 추진 존에스 그래스.
So since we have to draw all the realization of the old paths and stages to the understanding of these three doors of liberation from this reality source, right? So thus we name it as a source of the reality or the Chunjung.
This one.
So I request that His Holiness please give an explanation of the 8 Mad Tantric.
Correct.
The Magyugi and the Tumuma with Tamaki Sajara, Tamziki, and the Magyu Tumuma with Tamziki with Carres.
Then as Sonny Kill, there is a shadow medus, Sonny Kill, issues.
So I don't have time for this today, but I'll make sure that I will get it for you tomorrow. So get your pencils ready. So, what practice are we authorized to carry on when we receive the race initiation? The Puatowet, and also Lam Karikumal Wang is Puatopza.
On told the Langoma, Karkarilla, or
Now, Pua, Bewang Tobe.
Pombe on to the Jerry Naju Juji Gumal on to it. Najuba on to China.
So, accordance with the Vajrayogini practice, by the virtue of receiving the race initiation, you are hereafter authorized to do the practice of the 11 yoga. So, you are authorized to do the practice what I'm trying to teach you right now. So, please do it real well. That's a good assignment. So, now, next question is, what is the third position of the third portion of the night, and how and why does one gain merit awakening to the third portion of the night? Thank cha sumba se di kares, and thank cha sumba le langs na pain kariyores.
Long can you get in pain was near the pain marwa, thank cha sumba sena for the Gusha Son Domoris. 차 담보들 많이 하지 기줄 제보래. 자니버도 예고래. 차 손바디야 나오는 기줄 제보래. 개매 기론 수로 수리. 계산 알아서 되네 가보래스. 가보래디 이내 세라 말원에 말원 예대네니. 슈게 지저 고버제 바드랑 많이 나세들 노로 지스럽.
So I'll tell you the benefit first, that if you get up at the third portion of the night, then you will have the all time ahead for your practice. So that's the best benefit you have. And just a joke, okay? That what is the third portion of the night? The third portion is just divide up your night part of the day into 3 parts, and don't sleep in the first, and just go to bed in the middle, and by the time you think it's the third part, get up at that time and do the practice. And that's the way the great bhikshus of the past did during the time of the Buddha, and to maintain their great exemplary life, we try to incorporate that in our life as well. But whatever, if you can't get up that early, but please make sure, do me a favor, don't sleep till 9 o'clock. Get up at least earlier than that and do some practice. So, what are the Dhammapalas? Chöjong said the Kares. Chöjong.
추종세 보고 파마게 보고 정도 왔어. 추종이 추종어레. 추제게도 추제베 손조제버레스.
So, Dhammapalas, Pala means to take care of. So, parents, so Pala means to take care of. So thus that parents take care of children, the king take care of the subjects, officers take care of his people who he is obliged to. In the same way, Dhammapalas, they take care of the Dharma. So, what are the Mahakalas? Gombu Khares.
Gombu Bambu Yore. Gombu Sudun Gonjab Chekin, Gombu Midabare.
So, Mahakalas.
Gombu Jabda Ponye.
Gombu Nabu said him.
Gombu Nabu Sudu Godo Nabure. Goje Godo Nabu Sunsa Jabare.
So, Mahakala is the guardian that who is a Kala is black in color, right? Since he has a black color, so he's named as Mahakala, a great black. So he is the one, Gombo in Tibetan, which means leader or one who protects. So what are the Pratimokcha vows? Sostav Domba Sedi. Sostav Domba
Tabe Domba Sia, Gelon, Gitsu, Guinea, Niene, Domba to Sures, Susu Tabas, Domba Same Rana, Susu Tabatogre, Miamba Tabatomaris Tige.
So, what are the Pratimokchas? The Pratimokcha, the individual emancipation, as if translated, and it meant those are the like the novice monks and nuns, and like the upasakas, and then the like the bhikshu and the male and female, and those are the Pratimokcha vows that if one kept, which brings the emancipation for oneself or liberation for oneself. So thus it is called Pratimokcha, the vow which brings the emancipation for oneself. So, 2 parts of question. It says, how and why do Father Tantra stress illicit body? The Phajunala and the Julu said, do not correct us. Pajuna, Julu said, do not correct us.
Take us on a Pesha Gumi, Simlania, Kat Bele, Shekesha, and Bashe, and Simla, Tiayutayadi, Pesha said to Tumbaris, Lovey Bus, Kujuas.
So, how and why do Father Tantras stress the illicit body? How? I told you earlier yesterday with the illustration that if somebody has a motive to get our money, that whatever he does to going to a client, in whichever way he may act, that his motive is to get the money, right? So that's that I don't have a piece, no platables to say that this is the way they are presented, because it in itself is a very broad subject, but where they have stress and
Ali
design.
chara ko la rangin de dong se jan dong os. Dewa de mo so mhen wa ya de dewa de ya andro ni julu ru ya ke tabres. Tumba ge we se ru ya res. De no no to dewa ko la mhen ya de ge julu se to de o julu ke she ge yo ma res. Ma ju na la chebe chen la rangin dong ni na ba su su na ba je dewa ke chamen do was dong ni yin za we se ze to dong yo ye ge. De za we se ma se se ge yo ma res. 어때 미국 관가 대주네 배연도 연도 제대 미국 가가지를 주는 보사 대보 용구요레스 제대로 무슨 딩고 마우디아 가지는 거래 미국 지가는 보용거레스 내가 나중에 사실 도시에 가르 제자네 상동선 네 줄리도 요새니가 가봐 보고도 다 보레스.
So for instance like in the blessing of the offerings, you find that when they're blessed, they say, by nature, bliss and void. But in aspect, in the form of the offering, in function, ability to produce uncontaminated bliss, this and that, right? In the Pada Tantra, that they mention the bliss first, because the bliss is the way with which they try to accomplish the illicit body, that they don't mention the illicit body, but every practice is designed for the actualization, mainly for the actualize the illicit body, whereas in other practice, in modern Tantra, you find
제가 내가 누구한테 못해. 가지고 소리. 맞아, 라제 돈이 남아서 생도와.
By nature, void. By nature, voidness. In the Mother Tantra, you find by nature voidness appearing in the form of the offerings. By nature voidness, you find even by the wording. As I told you earlier, clear light. So though they don't mention the clear light directly, but it is all designed, that voidness, to lead to the actualization of the clear light. So everything, that just like a bird, whether it glides right to left or left to right, or just fly up or down or whatever, it just finally lands on one spot which he has in mind. In the same way. So since you don't need that for your meditation, but it's a very broad subject, okay? To gain a full comprehension of this, full comprehension of these things, that you need to have the real good understanding of the entire text of the Tantra itself. It needs a very broad subject, broad understanding, or broad intensive study of everything.
Yeah.
Question: please explain what happens to someone who has sudden death, heart attack, or violent death, murder victims. The kashe hopte thondo dewa, hopte thondo kashe penmi sevala sobata, kashe tinderis juade en karinguaris, pantanda kashe ringi chu maimba. Mare hopte shi jonga dewa kashe chu chitang tukin chu na maimba hopte shi jonga dewa.
림지 치와다 지저도 치와지 말. 먼저 되게 조지 도야 돼. 림지 치와를 셔 말. 가내가 레시야. 영 사와다. 메다디야바다. 추나라 사와다. 미 세바다. 들으라. 조지 림지 도야 요 말이스.
맞아.
다마 사출의 팀보다 추멜의 팀보스 요 말이스.
맞아.
다 샤마데 너체 도수에 야고지 요 말이스. 배치를 왜세 요도 가부레면도 가부. 땡데 요 말이스.
So for that kind of death, like the one who falls off from a cliff or being shot instantly and so on, one who faced such an instant death, that they may not have the first four from the sequential, like mirage-like, and those which we tried to explain earlier, those are the one supposed having a gradual death process. And they may even not have a chance to recollect on the redness, whiteness, redness, and darkness. But they may find a little, if one has some understanding, could get some vision of the clear light and so on, that or catch on it. So I think, so since I think this is a question quite important, that we travel a lot in the aeroplane and we could be run over by car and so on, so I'll give you an illustration. So in distant come, that we are 3-story building. On top, we have the little pile of stone on the corner of the roof, on the edge of the roof, to protect, to provide more like a gutter. So since there's the roof, there's roofing with the wood, and there was a little leak. So there's a gishi from the from the monastery, who is not quite well trained in the scripture, but then since he sensed some leaking, then he tried to fix that. He got on the roof, but he slid, and then he fell down and broke his skull, and he. So he fell down and broke the skull, but somehow he just immediately got up and sat in a cross-legged. So that though the 4 elements, I think they dissolve instantaneously or at the same time, instantaneously, but those last 3, the appearing, increase, and near attainment, those 3 I think come sequentially. So at those 3, one may be able to recollect on those 3 signs, and if still one loses the track, that even in Bharto, that one may get a chance, or one may know that one is in Bharto, and that knowing the hallucination of those kind of vision in the Bharto, being the vision of the Bharto, that one may be able to recollect on the instructions of the masters.
Padu Moshina, Padu Jumata, Padu Melam Taba Gung Tugeta, Padu the Suata, Padu the Lama Jantuga, Padu the Dilechuna, and Vese Genero, Madero, Padu, the Jaws on such a Drujan Taris.
So, if he could relate to the Bhakta as Bhakta and being like in state of a dreamlike state and so on, and if he could contemplate on the instructions of Master and so on, then if he could receive a better rebirth, then that's whether he has been able to catch on those 8 sequences or not, but he at least got a good part of his practice.
Yeah, thank you.
So, next, can Bhakta beings communicate with each other? If so, could one help another with the reminding on teaching? Bhakta also tends to nampen and it is shared that to meet in good ways. Yes, they can communicate and they can have a good assembly with each other, conference. And Jesse on Conspiritijola, Chugi, then a Dutch in the church and water. Soon, Nammy art and what the Jig depends on
Jiggy Pendoji was serious. Shida Yungumaris. In a Yabu Yunguris, Padu Remdio is a Yabutuna, and Sivas, Padu Tudu of Koransu Kod and Pengioris. Azu the Padu Gaji, Shibu to Dala Gage, Hundaba Yunga Kadu to the Goina, Tigi Pengioris.
So, if taking maybe they Padu Nampensis.
Jazan Pencil Shanity, Azu Gashi could Pengiona, Padu Nam Penzo Jigi Tong Jigi Mi da Sherijana, Shekishun Pengerwa. In a year, wish I shed to my conversation the Yin Jambore, Yana Indru Yala Yan, Indru Kenjiori, Sint the Betan Bush Radio Kenjiomare.
So it may be hard for them since they have a very, what we call scattered mind. More or less scattered, They're very easy to get distracted. So, but if they are really good, competent practitioners, and if 2 such practitioners were to meet with each other, they may be able to help with each other. That if you do believe that our reading of the text for them and reminding them, then why not, if they can meet with each other, and if they could communicate that definitely will help each other. But it is hard. It is really hard since that they have a very wandering thought, very wandering, unsettled mind. So.
Ku Sasun to the Chi Shejio. Chi Shen, Miss Sumbuk Magone, Padule, Riva Yagayo, Riva Dunjur Gutawa in Siri, Goni Pento Yungiori.
So during our Jonga practice, that is the purification practice, that with speaking the word of truth, that we invoke that about the being to the spot and try to give the discourses and so on. And it is said that if they could understand the teaching, comprehend it, their intelligence is even 7 times better than ours. So, could we incorporate the white moon and Vajra at our heart in our daily bodhicitta meditation, like in the initiation when we receive duplicate of these from the hearts of the Guru? Niga daota chi the page tamje neju sim ki batsi sare.
Ono di kide.
Tamje neju sim ki bati khabdu de migu charwal daota di ke di one couple of soon and I see, like me, then my rounding you cheche, I need team what is one couple of soon and I see, now you have come to the young rest.
Good to do me.
So, so, yeah, this question I'll answer tomorrow. So, so next question, did we choose this bird and what and how much did we have consciously to say about it since we are now in Dharma? Did we choose this bird? What and how much did we have consciously to say about it since we are now in Dharma? Huh? I don't quite understand it.
Maybe.
I think whoever wrote it, if they could talk to me, I'll have the question tomorrow. Is that all right? Thank you. I really cannot understand. If all accomplishing wisdoms functions as sending out rays of light, how does the equalizing wisdom function? The charu ishi the embody tone susungan verse church and sinji tenjavina and nyami ishi the kare doing kandichiwaris. Charu ishi or charu ishi. The sinji tenjitan any ningan verse church sinji tenjigera never ni ishi in tenjitan kandichiwaris.
Yamani shila toba sawari melu ishila toba mazarona. Alidan da yokado kavechan melu ishila tito garcheshanu.
So
Mavechad Yamani shijo to garchenu. Tenjia Dawayan said that Javala Gone, Rangamana, Senso Suni Bridge, Jajun Rojegi, Yigitila Mine, Gomne, Gomalet and the Sanji Kupundro, Netilesin, Labasija to Chayamari, Tantanabe, Muschiagi, Kolamiba, Jedeki, Miba Degisiagi, Subamene, Susunyabani, Shisiatigi, Tali Shunyanishi, Tanda Ishisu Moshe when you cover him. Covered with a Mongolian.
So the equalizing wisdom and its function, that it's good that you have doubt about equalizing wisdom. Should I believe that you have all the doubts about the mirror-like wisdom settled? Or anyway, just I will explain it tomorrow, because it's a broad subject. And it'll come.
Tati Yunsu Jingo Tenda de Mijungo Truba to get her Garchivarona. Nani Ishilela on the Melon Ishi Garchijando. So do Ishi Garchin Tisha, the Nani Shecho. That is Chomindoya.
So actually, I know that your doubt is from your Heruga practice, where how the whole formation that moon disk first be formed,
Tata Gansun Tina Gongja, Sony Yungre, Charuishi Yungre, Tata Yunguyari, Yunguyari, Charuishi Yungure. Don't go to Cheta Maja, Tata Daja Gom, Mojonga, good way, Salachia, the Sijanga to Mari, and the Gansia, don't go. Tiri, you know, Mojonga, going to Cheva, in some more John Shuangadi, Ishima, good Mojon Chonchu, Jig is in the years.
So, how they function, what their function was, how they benefit sentient beings, that it will follow in this practice, that generation of oneself into deity through the 5 enlightenments or the 5 wisdom. So when we go over that, then you will find that how each one of these wisdoms will function, okay? So that answer will follow in our next day's teaching. So I would like to have this question for you, whoever presented me this question, that this question is for you, that what the inner offering, blessing of inner offering and so on, and how it benefits the sentient beings. And your meditation on the emptiness in the taking of Dharmakaya onto path, that how does that help the sentient beings?
And
how in the taking the Sambhogakaya onto path, that in the visualizing in the form of Nanda in case of the Dechok or Heruka, and similar Pam in this practice, that how that helps the benefit that sentient beings. So, if a competent practitioner who sees his parents in pain have to practice that they lose it. I think I will need help with this. So this one, if competent practitioner always enters through the father's crown and crown chakra when taking rebirth, does that mean that competent practitioners are always born male? The any pair in unma pair junma shuja any girling words canasus. Did you any so it is not only for the competent practitioners that everyone has to enter through the crown or head of the father to take the birth. So the passage that one enters the womb between the egg and sperm is through the crown or head of the father. So thus it is not question of who is competent practitioner or not. Everybody goes through the crown of father. So, number nine, there is Peruzana.
여자 다 지체들 나노 스도 상의 지체 용사 고 샤마데 나래 쇼고레스다 더 하러버스게 내가 되게 버려.
So, Parasana, is also nicknamed, so not really nicknamed, but for the feces too, they call Parasana and referred as Parasana. So, some of the earlier Tibetans, they thought that since it says entry through the Parasana, which meant the place where we have to visualize Parasana, which meant Kana head. So they thought that Parasana as the name for feces, where it come from is as being the rectum. So they thought that it enters through the rectally, So that was a mistake.
당가랑 성주만 유셔서 통고마려봐도 사디고는 돈은 조조지네요. 쿠바다디다는 세조조의 지에서 잡아근도 가르치지. 콜라 개종스입니다 버리. 개종스도 잡아리. 시대다 봐도 개종도 올라다 쓰져버리. 쇼게님은 샤자라 조바도 안 루스타기는 콜라 랑과저가도 다 버리. 랑과저가면 싫어요. 랑과나는 자수군도는 나려요.
So the reason, part of the reason why the feces was named after is also the Nambana's Berutana was the Berutana is perfection of form, right? So when we take the food, that we take the food for the nurture of this form, and as after the essence is taken, it comes out in the product comes out is the feces. So because it could be that it was named as the Parasana. And also medically, that when they make the medical observations, that there are a lot of observations they make, like the way the feces, its texture, and its position, and so on, that whether one's death is close or whether if there's any sign of illness and so on. And so when it sits up, in certain position, that it looked more like in the position of the Berasana. That's true. So they
기존 세외 주제 기존 도알다 봐야지 기존데 양 조바데레스 코세조조 인자 잡아기 미다스 기존 수도 잡아레스
so they just try to observe that if one's death is close or not to the product, that elimination, and on its position, and or if there's any kind of vapor and its texture and so on. So that's. And also, there's sometimes they also say aspirant, or aspirant for the virtues, and because of the again way it sits, if laid somewhere else than bathroom.
All that have Gilungo do animation to a man, Langba man, she grace. Langba Nalanja Sugun Nagaris.
So signs of the death, for instance, like that if there's no the heat, that vapor which comes on top, if there's no vapor as such on the faces, then it is a sign that one's death is close, and if there's kind of little rainbow type shine, then one's illness is one's quite vulnerable to illness and so on. So there's some observations they make on those.
바도에 나시 나버 통제 고니 슈 송자 요레스르다.
So the reason I try to tell is that in the text it says the consciousness or the mind of the Bhagavad being enters through the Bhairocana, which meant crown or
고니
head.
나나 그 고니 슈.
What's gone?
고. 주사 고.
Oh God, no. Through the door of the to the door or the door of the Bhairocana, which meant crown of head.
디치우는 고고레스.
So that has to be understood for the crown of the head.
그 바도에 나시 파이 지우니 슈고레스.
So consciousness of the Bhagavad being has to enter through the crown of the head.
사운드에 디 지시 진럽 나라스다.
In the blessing of the Kichi, that is the 12 entrances and so on, in the Gosamaja practice,
랑게서 원이 제메 초바도 보면 나가 공주 나머지 다서 나가 공주 제장 의나 주변에서 나마다서 제마다 제ven도도 다니 내가 주로 산지고 주고 거기 부모가여도 저 산지고 나자도다 나와서 수었다 또 자들 주변 제마다 제정에 나나니 표시지 제가 혼도 녀버슈 자지 있는데 다니 지나마다서 고디 슈베스 니마슈 니마테 이시심베스 나마다서 고디 슈베 아니 고도지 공주 토바 주로 산지 고고고서 내가 대여 와서 내 송근나 대나마다서 고디 지울로
so in the Gosamaja practice, it says that through the generation, through the delegation of the Chenma, that's the name of the concert, to the innumerable, to the entire all directions, and Allah.
어디 나만하지 고니 슈시요르스 나만하지 이시바 제정바데 다니지 나만하지 고니 슈지오니 슈 어바메 제정 다니 찔슈 미주바 제정 다니지 내가니 슈스 제내 손젤 티네 요레스 나 선두도 그스 싱그리스.
So they invoke all the Buddhas in form of the Asura Buddha, and they Bhairocana and all the Chema, they sit in union with them, with the Bhairocana, and that melts into the creative energy and enters through personal Bhairocana, it says. Personal Bhairocana, which meant one's own karma head. So thus, again, I'm giving you a reference, the Bhairocana, entry through the Bhairocana, which here meant very clearly the crown of one's head.
다쳐든 주어면도 야. 다원능에 로직시고야. 다부도지 창신이 삼지 메셔버들 라마 주변고 충주지 별을 배버려.
맞아.
충주지 개시시 도야들이.
So Tabudoji-chan, I have a story for you that when he was very, very young, that his incarnate, that who could hardly talk, but very young, when he was first came towards the central.
공을 쉬고 샤버를 묻히기 고제 나오네. 고라서 소표지. 다부도지한테 달리자. 샤를 묻히기 시샤들이. 아니 다들 고제 나올 흘려져도 쉬고 샤버를 묻히기 다부도지한테 처럼 아멘 쿠바는 그래서 슈바스 같이 되어요.
So Shugon Shabarambuchi, that one of the other
슈고 샤버를 묻히자 라마 첨부지 그래.
so he's again another Lama, So they were all together in his own Chijang Doji-chan's place, and as a joke, he asked that Taburambuchi, that how did you enter your mother's womb?
지자 소표지 되는 쉬어래. 어다데 버루들라 슈고 샤버를 묻히기 다부도지처럼 구충사 아멘 쿠바나래 약간에서 페바스 되버려.
So Shugon Shabarambuchi and Tabudoji-chan, they were all present for salt offering in the Chijang place for salt offering.
지자를 붙여 먹었지. 샤고 슈고 샤바게 다부를 묻히 충주들라 쉬어래. 아멘 쿠바는 그래서 페바스 되버려.
So Shugon Shabarambuchi, he asked the little Taburambuchi that how did you enter your mother's womb?
그래서 무치 충주를 와 보고 충주를 와 제자를 무슨 너 아메 드네야 줄면 하고 그래 그래서 나 앞에 대만 줄이 이거
So he said that no, Yeah. He was a little child, and he said that, no, I didn't enter through the moms, but I entered through the crown of head of the dad. He was a really little child.
레타스마 아베데만 주사베
Like.
대소자다 근데스 배워 아저래
So again,
근데스만 주바 스티와 양주
so he again insisted that, but how did you do that?
아니 공부 차 세조 건자 이네
So he kept his hand on the table, and as a calling, he said that that's where I did it.
다 들이 야바도 쇼사군이 다 대공제 대제
I think that's the answer.
다 라원스자 선이셰죠
So remaining, I'll answer tomorrow. La.